will take the stage at Trump's inauguration singing America the Beautiful. She said to the Post, "I love our country and I'm honored to have been asked to sing at the inauguration and to be a small part of this historic event. I am humbled to answer the call at a time when we must all come together in the spirit of unity and looking to the future." Well, that wasn't good enough for the tolerant left, of course, who is outraged over Carrie being outed as MAGA. X is blowing up with jokes about how she should sing her hit song Before He Cheats. Some are calling for her to be boycotted and canceled. John Rich weighed in, saying there are several top-tier country artists who support Trump, and I wish they'd finally have the balls to come forward and be counted. Ain't nothing outlaw about keeping your mouth shut to appease the record label. Carrie Underwood is making you look like a bunch of sissy boys. Carrie is talented, she is graceful, she is a class act, she has great legs, not that it matters, but she is everything that the tolerant left.
Let's be real. Celebrity feuds come and go. But what's happening right now between Carrie Underwood and the ladies of The View isn't just drama. It's a cultural earthquake, a high-stakes $800 million defamation lawsuit, media empires trembling, and reputations on the line. This isn't a tabloid tiff. This is a reckoning. At the center of this legal and cultural supernova, Carrie Underwood, the country music icon with the golden voice and iron will. And on the other side, Whoopi Goldberg, the legendary EGOT winner and anchor of daytime talk chaos. The gloves are off, and no one's walking away from this unscathed. It all started with a performance. Carrie, ever the patriot, took the stage at Donald Trump's second inauguration event, singing America the Beautiful. Her voice soared, pure and proud, draped in red, white, and blue. To her, it was about honoring country, unity, and faith. But to The View, it was something else entirely: betrayal.
So I get why she did it.
I say.
I mean, right? It's country music. I think
I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't do it, even though I
You
can't
would
sing.
not sing?
No, I would not. I would not normalize him. And she says, "I love our country." How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country, in my opinion? I don't understand how you say you love your country at the same time as you normalize this convicted felon, which I can say now every day.
A lot of my family voted for Trump. They love the country and vote for him. I think that people make these decisions for a lot of reasons.
Okay, fine. And I would not be the person to say don't do it, because I believe in free speech and everything about it. I personally would not do it. No one's asked me, but that's another story.
The next morning, Joy Behar lit the fuse. On live TV, she mocked Carrie as naive or attention-hungry, claiming she was a microphone away from a MAGA hat. Sunny Hostin jumped in, branding her a hypocrite for singing about Jesus one day and performing for Trump the next. Then came Whoopi. The veteran host, smirking, declared it a political train wreck and laughed as the studio audience roared. But what they didn't realize was that Carrie Underwood wasn't going to fight back on Twitter or sob in a viral video. Number Carrie picked up the phone and called her legal team. Weeks later, she dropped a lawsuit that made media executives across the country spit out their lattes. $800 million. Filed against Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, and ABC itself. The suit alleged character assassination, strategic public humiliation, and media bullying disguised as commentary. And Carrie didn't come empty-handed. Her team brought receipts, transcripts, internal production notes, emails. One note read, "Let Joy lead the attack. Whoopi's closer must sting." Another email, more damning. "Use Carrie to bait online traffic. Trump content always trends. She'll be our algorithm booster."
I love our country. How do you love your country and support and normalize somebody who was a convicted felon who really wants to destroy the country?
Carrie wasn't a guest. She was a target. And the lawsuit hit like a thunderclap. Fans were stunned. The media scrambled. Suddenly, Whoopi, Sunny, and Joy weren't commentators. They were defendants. And Whoopi, she unraveled. Sources say she began showing up late to tapings, she skipped briefings, she snapped at crew members, she stormed off set. Her commentary, once fiery and fearless, became safe, dull, even robotic. Her confidence vanished. Then came the court summons. Whoopi arrived at the courthouse dressed in black, sunglasses shielding her eyes, lips tight, hands trembling. As Carrie's team played back the broadcast line by line, the laughter, the jabs, the venom, Whoopi sat motionless. But then came the nuke, an audio memo. Whoopi's voice crackled over the courtroom speakers. "Let's stir the pot." Carrie's too calm. "I want her rattled. If we're lucky, she'll fold." The room froze. Reporters gasped. Courtroom artists dropped their pens. Whoopi lowered her head. Not in defiance, not in protest, in shame. No defense, no comeback, just silence. And it was deafening. Meanwhile, inside ABC, panic spread like wildfire. Execs scrambled. Legal teams were flown in. Advertisers began pulling out. Sponsors distanced themselves. The network had thought this would blow over in a week.
I can't sing a lick, but I certainly, and I have not been asked, but if I were asked, it would be a hard no.
Well, they wouldn't ask me, so I have no...
Now it was threatening to collapse the entire View brand. And Carrie? She said nothing. No tweets, no interviews, no shade. Just one line from her legal team. We are proceeding as planned. That silence, it was louder than any speech. Social media exploded. Hashtags like #JusticeForCarrie, #SitDownSunny, and #AccountabilityNow trended for days. TikTok flooded with side-by-side edits of Carrie in court, calm and poised, versus courtroom sketches of Whoopi, frazzled, wide-eyed, broken. One meme showed Carrie wielding a golden microphone and a gavel. Another showed Whoopi peeking out from behind the View logo, hiding like a kid caught red-handed. Late-night comedians pounced.
So what's that about? Could it be that they felt she was just too much? I mean, they were going to be streaming and they need to take this product forward. And by the way, their streaming numbers were lousy. So they're thinking, okay, like let's move away from linear television and let's put The View on the weekend and let's do entertainment instead of politics. By the way, listen, like over here on streaming, like in this land, it's all about authenticity. You can talk about politics. You can talk about a lot of stuff. In fact, your crazy Whoopi, she might actually have a better following online than she does in the sort of traditional, shall we say, network environment. But they can't figure that out, I guess, either that or she's holding out for more money. I kind of wonder if she's in the middle of contract negotiations. And that's in part why she stopped spitting when she says the president's name. After all, he won. If you notice on that show, she's gotten extremely quiet. And now she's sort of relying on this one, Sunny Houston, to go on and on and on. Of course, Sunny Houston has no use for Doge.
Jimmy Fallon quipped, Whoopi thought she was filming an episode. Turns out, it was a deposition. Trevor Noah chimed in. Carrie said, Jesus, take the wheel, and drove The View straight into a lawsuit. News outlets across the spectrum dissected every frame, every line. CNN anchors debated media ethics. Fox News ran segments on Hollywood elitism.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Even the New York Times ran a front-page piece titled, Underwood vs. The View, the trial that changed talk shows forever. And the courtroom drama wasn't even the half of it. Behind closed doors, sources say Whoopi begged for a private settlement. Her team reached out to Carrie's with multiple offers. No press, quick payout, total silence. Carrie refused. Because this wasn't about money. It was about power, about principle, about putting an end to the culture of clout-chasing cruelty. And Carrie had cracked the code. This wasn't just her lawsuit. It was every guest who'd been mocked for ratings.
Whoopi Goldberg is on thin ice to the point where they're actually coming out with a new promo for The View. I know that show that we can't stand to watch because, you know, she does things like this. She spits when she says the president's name.
Listen, take him seriously and take him literally.
I don't think that we have to. I think it would be remiss of us to not say Joe Biden knows how to do this.
Yes.
He knows how to do this. He's quite good at this. And you know, you can't refute anything with him because he just, when I say him, I mean
He rambles.
Trump.
Yeah.
He tends to just.
But can I mention one thing? Because Trump is out there calling.
Did you say his name? I said his name.
Oh,
yeah, it was a trick and it made me do it. But I'm just saying that that Biden knows what.
Every artist who'd been baited into controversy, every woman called a sellout for refusing to parrot someone else's politics, she became a symbol, a storm, a reckoning.
Country superstar Carrie Underwood has spent most of her career avoiding political talk, but she's set to perform at the upcoming inauguration. She said in a statement that she's doing it because the country must come together in the spirit of unity and look to the future. And lots of her fans aren't thrilled about it, but lots of her fans are. So let's put this in perspective here. What do y'all think?
I personally hope we're moving beyond the era of politics where we want to cancel people's livelihoods because we don't like their politics. And whether it was the Dixie Chicks for criticizing George Bush, didn't agree with it then, and Carrie Underwood, if you have a problem, you register your complaint by not downloading her songs and not going to her shows.
Right.
But I also think from a business standpoint, it's not a bad decision for Carrie Underwood. 75 million people voted for Trump. Artists tend to skew left-leaning, so she's overnight going to become an icon of MAGA and the American right. She's probably going to make a lot of money off of it. So I get why she.
If this case goes to trial, and all signs say it will, the fallout will be biblical. Leaked tapes, off-air banter, editorial plans.
Country superstar Carrie Underwood has spent most of her career avoiding political talk, but she's set to perform at the upcoming inauguration. She said in a statement that she's doing it because the country must come together in the spirit of unity and look to the future. And lots of her fans aren't thrilled about it, but lots of her fans are. So let's put this in perspective here. What do y'all think?
I personally hope we're moving beyond the era of politics where we want to cancel people's livelihoods because we don't like their politics. And whether it was the Dixie Chicks for criticizing George Bush, didn't agree with it then, and Carrie Underwood, if you have a problem, you register your complaint by not downloading her songs and not going to her shows.
Right.
But I also think from a business standpoint, it's not a bad decision for Carrie Underwood. 75 million people voted for Trump. Artists tend to skew left-leaning, so she's overnight going to become an icon of MAGA and the American right. She's probably going to make a lot of money off of it. So I get why she did it.
I say.
I mean, right?
Email chains of producers plotting attacks on guests. A network insider warned, if this hits open court, daytime TV as we know it is over. Already, other talk shows are panicking. Legal teams are combing through past segments. Writers are deleting jokes. Segment producers are revising strategies. The new golden rule? Don't poke the bear. And what about Whoopi? ABC insiders say she's on the chopping block. Executives are weighing suspension, forced apology, or even termination. One exec reportedly said, she's a liability now. This isn't about legacy. This is about survival. Even The View's streaming promo was mysteriously pulled. A rebrand is rumored, new hosts, less politics, more fluff. Because the brand is toxic. And it all started with one country star singing for her country. Meanwhile, Carrie Underwood keeps doing what she does best, staying silent, staying strong, and letting the facts speak for themselves. This isn't just about one performance, or one lawsuit, or one host. This is about a media machine finally getting checked. So, what happens next? If Carrie wins, networks will be forced to treat talk shows like journalism. The line between opinion and defamation will be redrawn, and every host, producer, and executive will think twice before targeting someone for a ratings bump. Carrie Underwood didn't just sue. She launched a cultural movement. And she did it without a meltdown, without a scandal, without a single tweet. She brought the receipts. And now she's bringing the house down. Let this be a warning to every talk show host who thinks slander is strategy. Carrie's got the mic, and she's not backing down. If you believe in media accountability, if you think the truth should matter more than clout, smash that like button. Subscribe for more real talk, courtroom drama, and cultural takedowns. Because if this is just the beginning, you better believe Carrie Underwood is just getting warmed up.